Are there any moments you would like to discuss of the players completely surprising you?
Expecting him to kill the king the way that he did? Definitely not as viciously and where it happened.
And that moment kind of got them to try out different things. So that is what was surprising to me. They actually started playing different characters with totally different play styles and different personalities, and it was just surprising, I guess.
Swung underneath the rope bridges, and just kind of in a series of, two people were connected to a rope, and one would hold and one would swing underneath the bridge, and he would hold and she would swing and hold.
And from that point forward, my Cyberpunk game was restricted to 14 orbital space platforms and 2 lunar moon bases because the rest of the planet glowed in the dark. That caught me totally by surprise. Well, I had planned for them to be big heroes, get a ticker tape parade and all that kind of stuff when they saved the day, but they didn't find any of the clues I put out there.
And instead of it being, this mass combat sequence, he manages to convince her to not only not shoot him in the face a lot, to go out for coffee with him.
And so now they don't have a way to get from point A to point B to point C, and I'm like, oh, that didn't work. So I needed to come up with something else, and
they decided to make another water elemental to kind of woo it and distract it and seduce it and make it fall in love. And I thought that was a hilarious idea. And they rolled really well, and it worked fine, and they got past it no problem, and they just kind of fleshed out this thing of, so they're just sort of sitting together and kind of schmoozing up to each other, and that was hilarious.
The players decided that the only way they could survive, well, not even survive, the only way they could actually resolve it was to save the world, was to kill themselves by the set lights of the lighthouse, effectively. And it was quite good, but it was a huge team effort.
Setting up the internal structures and making sure the buildings were getting redone, and all the wounded were getting properly tended to. I expected them to go straight on to China, but it went somewhere far more interesting. And I like that. When players will do something completely in character, but so much more interesting than I thought it was going to be.
There was something that happened recently that very did surprise me, but it's kind of over 18.